Springfield's pure classic rock station, 104.7 The Cave.
Hey, what's going on? Mike the intern. I'm in my studios here at 104.7 The Cave, and I felt like it would be really important to have a conversation with my good buddy Samantha from Community Partnership of the Ozarks. These guys do a lot here in our own backyard, and we all are going through something with the COVID-19 pandemic, whether it's working from home, being at home more, and really just feeling that sense of isolation. And I'm telling you, everyone's feeling it, and it's probably going to start sinking in a little bit further as we go through the weeks, self-isolating, social distancing, all that stuff. And so I felt like it was really important to have a conversation with Sam about some of the things that you can do on a daily basis to kind of combat that. Sam, thank you so much for taking the time with me.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to have this conversation with you.
So I'm the type of person, and I don't know if it came through years of experience or just learning from mistakes or whatever, where I try to look into the positive of everything. And I'm always about creating positive habits, whether that's, making sure I do the dishes at a certain time or going home and do yoga. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But you've got a really good list of things that we're going to go over the next few weeks that you should do and are really important to create those positive habits. And I love the first one, and that's open the curtains and shades to let more sunlight in. And with the spring coming through, it's beautiful outside. We got the flowers blooming. Normally we'd be out going to festivals and parties and all kinds of stuff. We can't do that, but you can let the sunlight in. And I think that's a really good place to start to get some positivity in your life.
Right. Yeah. It sounds so simple, but truly just opening up those curtains, opening up your blinds, that increased exposure to sunlight can truly improve the symptoms of depression, and it really just lifts your mood. I know for me personally, I open up all of my curtains as soon as I wake up, and on my lunch break, I try to get outside every day with my dog, take him for a walk, just let that sun hit my skin, and it just feels so good. It really does kind of help me get through the day and improve my mood and improve that feeling of stress.
It is a proven fact that sunlight gets us vitamin D, which in turn makes us happy. I mean, you can see it through history. It just getting outside is an important thing. Obviously, do the social distancing thing. Don't invite all your friends to a big giant walking party or whatever. Do it on your own or with your kids or your family. But it's so important. And I'm telling you, I've walked my dog so much in the last 2 weeks. He's done with me. I think I'm the one that the tables have turned. It used to be him begging me for a walk. Now I'm begging him for a walk.
Right. They're overwhelmed with all the walking they're having to do, but we're loving it.
Yeah. And I'm glad I have him, because he's definitely helped lighten the mood. Now, again, with another thing, I think this is a great point. Be kind to yourself. And that's really, it's sometimes easier said than done, because, we internalize and we judge ourselves more crucially than we judge other people. But I think a really good thing that I think you mentioned was, think about, like, what kind of advice would you give to someone else going through this? If you talk to a friend and they say, oh, I feel so lonely, or I feel like I got to get out of here, or I'm crazy. What kind of advice would you give that person? And that's the type of advice that you need to give yourself.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Treat yourself with the same compassion that you would give a friend during this time. We're all struggling, and we deserve to give ourselves permission to do what we need to do to feel better and to cope. So figure out what that is that you would tell a friend to do, or what's going to make you feel better, and allow yourself to take the time to do those things.
And it's so important, and really stick to it. It's just like a diet or an exercise routine. Mental health is just as important as looking good, being fit, eating well. It's all the same thing. It's all part of that oneness thing, here, and here, I guess, is what I'm trying to do. But, and on top of that, exercise is a good thing. I know a lot of people like to exercise in the gym. Years ago, I kind of started doing it at home because I like to be in my own home space. I like to be able to put a record on and just completely shut everything out. And then a couple of years back, I started practicing yoga, and I have to do it every single day. And I think that's a really important thing if you can get into it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And it doesn't have to be, crazy warrior 2 up in the air type stuff. If it's just sitting cross-legged with your back straight and practicing on breathing, that's important.
Yes, yeah. I know right now it's really tough, especially for people that do regularly exercise because the gyms are closed. And so they don't have that easy access like they used to have. But there really are so many opportunities on YouTube, and even gyms are doing Instagram lives of different workouts that you can do from home. And that really does help you feel better and boost those endorphins in your body. But also, even if you're not someone that likes to regularly work out, maybe exercise isn't really your thing, there are even just relaxation exercises to really help calm yourself and help those negative feelings to not escalate. So that can even just be repeatedly tensing and then relaxing those muscle groups. Again, there's different YouTube videos, different phone apps that you can download to help with those different meditation practices and things like that. So I recommend trying that if you are feeling overwhelmed or stressed during
Samantha,
this time.
you're right on the money. I mean, I think every yoga app out there is free right now. There are countless videos on YouTube and Instagram of different gyms and different things that you can do. And I will say that my favorite pose in yoga is called the corpse pose. And that is because you're literally laying on your back like a corpse. I know it sounds a little morbid. I didn't come up with just there and breathing. And that's it. And it didn't take any physical exertion. And that's something that anyone can do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, there really are some really simple things. You don't have to be an expert in this to do what's going to make you feel well.
And just make sure and take care of yourself. That's a huge thing. And as a father, you obviously want to take care of the wife and the kids and do everything you can for them, but it's important to do the things you can for yourself. That doesn't mean being selfish. That just means self-care. And I think that's a very, very important thing. So I got my producer Nick on here. We've got those that graphic of some of the things we talked about. Nick, could you throw that up real quick so people can see it? Just kind of get an idea of what we're talking about. Again, opening the curtains and the shades to let more sunlight in. Of course, be kind to yourself. And like, this is so good. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would a friend by allowing yourself to spend time doing something that makes you feel better. Whether that's watching old videos of your family, playing video games, watching the Chiefs win the Super Bowl again. I don't care. It's all the same thing. And then, of course, the practice relaxation exercises, and another great tip. And we'll be checking in with you here in the next few weeks of some more things you can do as we go through this together with this pandemic. And Samantha, thank you so much for your time this morning. I know you guys are also on the front line with this thing, and I really appreciate you being out there and helping people.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.